emerging generations, they can't remember a world prior to Uber. If you can't remember a world prior to Uber, then to you, Uber's not an invention, it's standard. And that's where your expectations start, okay? Let me give you another example. So again, as I mentioned, I live in Atlanta, Georgia, home to Delta Airlines, and the busiest airport on the planet Earth, Hartsfield-Jackson. That's my second home. I love that place. But I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I have 3 children under the age of 4. Say a prayer for me and my wife later, if you don't mind. And so we have a very busy household, but not recently, my daughter, who's 3, was walking through the kitchen. She stopped in her tracks. She threw up her hand and she started waving. She wasn't waving at me, so I thought, oh, this will be good. Where's this going? She was waving her hand, and finally she said, "Hey, Alexa." The Amazon Echo, we've got in our kitchen, lights up, ready to take her command. She thankfully didn't order thousands of dollars worth of product without us knowing. She just kept waving, and eventually she said, "Hey, bye, Alexa, we'll see you tomorrow," and she walked out of the kitchen. So cute. A couple things washed over me in that moment. Number one, that generation is growing up within speaking distance of artificial intelligence, and they're interacting with AI and robots, smart speakers, on a daily basis if they're part of the family. Much different environment than you and I grew up in. And also what washed over me that day is my daughter, she'll literally never know a world. She'll never know a world where she can't speak to a smart object, order a product, and have it delivered to her front door within an hour via a drone. She'll literally never know a world where that isn't possible. So by the time she's ready to show up to jump on an airplane, or by the time she's ready to come work inside your organizations, she's going to have fundamentally different expectations on how goods and services are delivered to her and how she views work, communication, etc. No fault of her own, she's just growing up in a much different time than you and I are. But this is true of all of us. If we can't remember a world prior to airplanes, then to us, airplanes aren't an invention, it's standard, and that's the new norm, and that's where our expectations start. But because things are moving so fast, this emerging generation has elevated expectations. So if we want to pull them into our organizations, if we want to deliver products and services to them effectively, then we've got to start thinking differently.